Everyone is saying that the industry is gonna die, that AI is coming for our jobs as videographers. And honestly, I think that if you keep working the exact same way you did 5 years ago, then yeah, I think you're doomed. But what about like the rest of us, the ones that are willing to evolve? I think this is not the end. I actually think that this is the biggest opportunity we've ever had. You see, AI isn't here to replace filmmaking. It's here to handle the boring tasks that slow us down. So in this video, I'm gonna show you 3 specific ways that you can use AI right now. Not to cheat, but to speed up your workflow, save low-budget shoots, and actually charge more for your edits. Let's first of all talk about speed, because it's literally the one thing that you cannot buy back. Now, I'll give you an example to make you understand what I'm saying. Recently, I was shooting a promo for a gym, and guys, the space was tiny. The client wanted a specific exercise, but behind the athlete, it was complete chaos. The machines were everywhere, messy towels, bad visual noise. I mean, we had 0 time to prep the set, and the client wanted to shoot as fast as possible. So after the shoot, I thought, okay, I did my job. I need to just edit the video and that's it. He doesn't care about all the noise and stuff in the back. But then the client calls me and he says, hey, can't we just remove all the clutter in the back with the software in post-production? And I just wanted to bash his head on the table. I'm just kidding. But seriously, like back in the day, I would have panicked completely. I would have spent like countless days and hours on DaVinci Resolve trying to use like the object removal tool or mask him frame by frame, and it would honestly still look like shit probably. But instead, in these new fantastic times, I just threw the clips into Higgsfield AI and I just literally brushed over the mess, and the AI generated a clean background that matched the lighting and the textures perfectly. So then I just needed to mask out the subject and put him inside the new background. Now guys, I'm not saying this stuff just like to get views or whatever, or look at me, I used AI in this way. I'm just saying that this saved me days of frustration, and you can do it as well for your projects, your clients, your videos. This allowed me to deliver a high budget look from a messy low budget shoot. I think, at least in my opinion, I don't think this is cheating. I think this is being efficient with the assets that you have and just being as creative as possible. But then, as we mentioned before, there's the problem of the budget. And this is where AI actually helps you make more money by spending less. I am 100% sure that we all know the struggle, like the client that knows nothing about videography and wants like Netflix quality, and they don't even have like YouTube, not even like TikTok budget, like that. I'm sure you know what I'm saying. So I had this client in the nutrition niche, and the concept of the video was pretty simple, but still ambitious. Like, it was to show how fast food slowly degrades and destroys your health. And she wanted like a sort of visceral, high-end visual of a burger degrading, like rotting away, to represent like the toxicity of the fast food. Now let's look at the reality of producing that. Like option A, I had to hire like a sort of professional 3D animator or like a VFX artist that would have cost hundreds of dollars and probably blow out like 50% of the project fee. Option B was just looking for like stock footage, but searching for a specific burger like rotting away gracefully, which probably does not exist for free online, or probably you just get a sort of mid animation that doesn't look like anything good. Option C was to spend countless weeks on understanding how to like use 3D software, or option D. So I chose the latter. I went to McDonald's, I bought a burger, took a single photo with my Sony, and with just that static photo, I created like magic. I went on Nano Banana and told the AI to create a sort of burger that is rotting away. After I created the image, I went back into Higgsfield AI and chose the option videos from images feature. It's called Killing AI. I typed in the prompt to basically make the burger rotting away. So I used the first frame, which is the normal burger, and the last frame, which is the rotting away burger. And for the result, I just sent the video to the client, and she was shocked. She was extremely happy. Now boys, I've given you concrete examples regarding speed and budget, but I still want you to look at the bigger picture here. The point of this video is to make you understand one thing. To survive in this industry, especially now, you need to be more creative than ever before. AI has drastically lowered the barrier to entry, and videos that used to be incredibly difficult and expensive to make are now really easy. You just need the power of your imagination and a good AI software. Now, I'm not saying that you necessarily need to generate videos with AI and do just that, but you do need it to handle technical friction. I mean, the complex problems that previously took hours of labor, you can now just solve them instantly. Leveraging that efficiency is the only way to stay competitive in this industry. Now, finally, the last way that I use AI is by using it for transitions. And I don't mean just whipping the camera left and right and just let the AI do everything. I'm talking study transitions when you're shooting and thinking about how you're gonna edit them in post-production. So for example, I was working with this MMA athlete and the client was very specific on his request. He wanted all locations to feel connected, like it was a sort of continuous journey. So I had to connect to 3 distinctive clips. The first one was the athlete changing in his home. The second one was a drone shot of the city where the athlete lives. And the last one was the athlete training in the gym. Now, with jump cuts or normal transitions, the clips just feel disjointed. Like you jump from the bedroom to the sky to then the gym, and then it breaks just the immersion, right? So I used again Higgsfield AI to create the bridge. I had the AI morph the end of the home shot into the drone shot, and then morph the drone shot into the gym footage. And yes, it did take a few tries, a few prompts, a lot of time, but still, once I got the end result, the clips looked glued together into one seamless camera movement. And to do this myself, honestly, I don't even know how I would have done it. I never saw this specific transition before AI came in the picture. So yeah, I mean, it created something that wasn't there before. And I don't think it's that bad, especially in this situation, because it's like a smooth cut in DaVinci Resolve. It's just another way to create a transition that you couldn't before. Now, look guys, I've said this before and I'll say it again. AI isn't here to replace the art of filmmaking. It is a tool no different than Mask or complex fusion nodes. It simply amplifies what you do. It lets you say yes to the client requests when they used to be impossible to make. It lets you tell stories that you couldn't afford to tell before. So I don't think we should be afraid. I actually think we should master it. And the ones who master AI are gonna be the next evolution of filmmakers. Guys, if you have any questions about how I specifically set up these shots in Higgsfield AI, just drop them down in the comments. I read everything. Boys, thank you for watching, and me, I'll see you in the next one. Bye boys, ciao ciao.